John 12:29. Turbergo quaestabat et audierat, dicebant donitrum factum esse, ali dicebant angelus ei locutus est. Thus the crowd, which was standing and had heard, was saying that it had thundered. Others were saying, an angel spoke to him. First we have our subject, turba, which is then immediately followed by a relative clause attached thereto. Now, the first verb in our relative clause is imperfect, indicating that they were standing there congruent with the time that they were saying things. And then audierat being a pluperfect verb, indicating that they had heard something, referring to the voice from the last verse. Now, in the underlying Greek that I wrote above the text, you can see that these two verbs, stabat and audierat, are participles in the Greek, but because Greek uses participles in ways rather unnatural to Latin, it is rather conventional to see participles translated as relative clauses as we have here. In translating the aspect of the participles into the most appropriate Latin tense, which they do well here. The perfect participle, indicating a state of being in most regards, being translated as the imperfect tense, and the aorist being translated as a pluperfect. Then you may notice that our main verb, dicebant, does not match in number with its subject, turba. This is admittedly an odd expression, but our best explanation of why our translator chose this is that he's simply mirroring something in his copy of the underlying Greek. While it is generally accepted that the most conservative reading of the Greek text is elegon, there is a portion of the manuscript tradition that reads elegon, imperfect first-person singular or third-person plural, as opposed to what's generally accepted as the main reading as a imperfect third-person singular. So our best explanation is simply that whatever manuscript our translator had the elegon reading, as opposed to the elegon reading. Then we have the double accusative with infinitive for reported speech. Literally, they were saying thunder to have been made, but it's a little bit prickly of an English translation. More idiomatically, they said that it had thundered. Now, the noun here, donitrum, is neuter second singular, simply meaning thunder. You may be a little bit more familiar with it as donitros, as a fourth declension noun, although notably less common. This second declension neuter form that we see in the text is fairly well attested, and is even seen in Cicero. Then we have ali dicebant angelus ei locutus est. Then others were saying an angel had spoken to him. So while in the last section we had an accusative infinitive construction to express reported speech, here we just have essentially open quotations, then closed quotations at the end with est.